Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Nathan Graves Show. With me, your host, Nathan Graves. And a couple years ago, in the second episode of the Nathan Graves Show, I interviewed a young man by the name of Drake Mcarter, and he worked at ScrewAttack at the time, and I asked some questions about what it was like being an employee there and various other stuff. And well, now I have him here again, being the first ever repeat guest on the Nathan Graves Show, and he's now a part of the Game Theorists, and I would like to reintroduce to you TrailerDrake Mcarter.
Hello, that is me, TrailerDrake, the Iron Stomach.
Now, for the few people at home who don't know who you are, why don't you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Oh god, where do I begin? Hate to sound like a braggart, but I mean, I'm kind of all over the place right now. Most people would know me from my time at ScrewAttack when I was the trailer guy. I worked with all the companies to make sure that the trailers got distributed to the public. I was also on camera a lot. I worked behind the scenes. I edited hard news every day. I edited side scrollers among some various other things. Honestly, for every main show on ScrewAttack, I've had at least some part in, whether it be a voice cameo in the Death Battle for Goku vs. Superman, or editing a top 10, anything. I was on ScrewAttack in some capacity. Then I actually did a new show called Crossover that is currently running on Game Theory. I actually made that for ScrewAttack around the time when I left. When I left, we syndicated that the first 4 episodes, and then we brought that over to Game Theory, and now we're going strong with that. Otherwise, I'm the head of Zapper Productions, which is my artist Kenny and myself. Kenny being the artist on Crossover, and we're Zapper, so we're doing some top 10s. He's got a Let's Play thing. And from Zapper, I also do a review show called Playing Catch Up. I have unpopular gaming opinions. I have my first impressions. I've got my rants. I am doing way too much stuff.
As you mentioned, your show Crossover is on Game Theory, is part of the Game Theorists, excuse me. And how did you get asked to join the Game Theorists?
Well, a fun little thing that not many people know is that I knew MatPat before he was a big deal. Now, this is hipster Drake right here. But back when I was working at ScrewAttack as an intern, even before I was employed there, I was in charge of the G1 Spotlight. And this is when MatPat was just starting Game Theory. And I actually promoted his stuff. And whenever I promoted something, I would always send a message to the user saying, hey, I promoted your stuff. Thanks for the great work. And, MatPat and I talked a little bit that way. And that's how we built a bit of our early friendship. Now, along the same lines, working at ScrewAttack, that's when I met Gaijin Goomba. And he and I became fast friends. We became pen pals. We talked all the time on Skype, and we emailed back and forth. He came down with his now wife, Akitera. They came to visit me in Dallas, and we hung out there. And then I actually went out to Arkansas for Consplosion. I was his cameraman, and I made a small appearance in his panel. Wrecked my car on the way over there, so that was fun. But and then I met Ronnie Edwards at SGC, because obviously I was friends with Gaijin Goomba, and he and I hung out. Met MatPat for the first time there, amazing guy. And then I met Ronnie, and Ronnie and I became best friends. Turns out we actually used to go on the same Mega Man Battle Network role-playing forum. So we bonded over that, and we talked a bit. We texted every here and there. So I'm friends with all of the Theorists, and whenever I made Crossover, I sent it over to Matt just to see what he thought, and he instantly wanted it on the channel. So I was actually going to release it on Game Theory first, but no ScrewAttack at all. But we both agreed it'd be better to run it through ScrewAttack, where it was born, and then once my non-compete agreement ended, I could start moving it over to the Game Theorist channel. So after syndicating all the old episodes, now all the new things are going forward.
And what goes into making an episode of Crossover?
Crossover is a very long process. People will complain about how the episodes are way too short, but you have to realize that you're making a lot of all new artwork, and that's where Kenny comes in. He is he's drawing stuff constantly. I mean, he's not only making all these art pieces, but he's also sending me progress sketches. He'll show me the wireframe, he'll show me the rough coloring, and he'll always be sending me stuff because he is always working. I'll get like 8 emails from him in a day. But the usual crossover process is, well, one, I come up with an idea. Now, I have a crossover database where I actually compiled this whenever I first got inspired to do the show, and my database has about 8,000 unique crossovers. Now, I have most of this committed to memory because I typed it in all manually, and it just is there. But my friend Jot, he actually made a encoder, so it takes my Word file, and it actually lets me go Assassin's Creed to Mirror's Edge, and it'll show me all of the connections in between. Now, I don't need that most of the time, but that's very helpful. So once we have the rough connection, then we start elaborating, and we start writing the script, adding a few jokes here and there, and fleshing all the connections out to make it presentable. Once that's done, we start gathering up a rough idea of what we need Kenny to draw. Character artwork, any little novelty things, anything that we need to add to the professor root file, because the professor file is just the main body with different eyes and arms that I can save into different poses. So I have about 75 different images of the professor that I lay on over and over each other in order to make the professor do his little stop motion movement thing.
Mm-hmm.
So here and there, I'll adjust the script, flesh it out as necessary. Kenny will send the artwork to me, and he'll even look it over and make sure everything doesn't sound ridiculous from an outside perspective. And then once that's all done, I'll hop in the closet and record it. That is my professional voiceover booth, is that I'll get into my closet, strip down to my underwear, because I don't want to risk any of my clothes rubbing against each other and producing sound that I don't want. And I'll record an episode of Crossover, which takes about an hour. So 30 minutes to an hour, I'm in this closet sweating like crazy because I do my lines over and over and over again to find the right ones. And that's where a lot of the process for Crossover is. It's in the audio editing, because I'll take this massive 40-minute file and condense it down into 2 to 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. And then from there, I actually do my edit. I, put the character stuff over it. I'll get the gameplay footage and put it in there. And then, once I edit the video over the audio, I just export it and send it to MatPat.
And you heard it here first. The first on the Nathan Graves show, folks. Drake records in his underwear.
Not only that, but on most of my reviews that I do for playing catch-up, I actually record them all pantless. And there have been more than one occasion where I show my pants actually off of my body. Like, I don't show me in my underwear, but I actually will pull my pants up on screen. So it's a little fun in-joke for people that watch my reviews.
Now, are you prejudiced against pants, or do you just feel comfortable recording pantsless, or...
Well, as I mentioned, it's mainly because of the audio issue. I don't like cloth rubbing against each other. It's actually something I picked up from Jack Black, watching him doing some voiceover stuff. Mm-hmm. Jack Black, he will just strip down right in the middle of the voiceover booth to make sure that you don't get any of those. But also, who likes pants? If you have to wear them, but if you have an opportunity not to wear pants, who's gonna wear pants? I'm not wearing pants right now.
Maybe a little too much information there, Drake. Just saying.
Only the best for you, my friend.
Thank you. Just quality stuff here on the podcast. And as you mentioned, you also have a review show called
Playing Catch
Up. I'm sorry. And you play games that you haven't played before, and you basically catch up on them. Now, what made you decide to start this series?
Well, Playing Catch Up, it's on a little bit of a hiatus right now because I'm having such a hard time finding the proper place to record. I'm actually getting a professional green screen installed in a warehouse that I have access to, and I'll be recording it there. But Playing Catch Up got inspired when The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD was announced on Nintendo Direct, because I had just beaten The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on GameCube as soon as it got announced, and I was furious. Because I like Wind Waker, but it's not a game I want to play again anytime soon because it's so long, and I don't like long games. But then I realized that I honestly haven't played that many video games. I mean, I've played a lot, trust me, but I haven't beaten a lot of them. I haven't played them to completion. So I come with a new perspective. I don't review the latest and greatest games. I review games that I haven't played at launch, games that I'm beating for the first time, and I'm giving my opinions of them as somebody who is cultured in the new era of gaming, so I know what mechanics will live on and stuff, but also someone who is seeing things for the first time. So I'm not as biased to nostalgia in that regards. Because, like I mentioned, I know what games are like now. I know what a good, solid engine is. And I can tell you when a game, it doesn't quite live up. And since I don't have that nostalgia blindness, I'm more likely to give it a more fair review. And I've actually seen a lot of people appreciate my reviews so much they've gone out and bought games and not bought games based on my recommendation. For example, I loved Mad World. I mean, it wasn't the best game in the world, but for what it was, I was able to look at it and understand, and it still lives up to today's standards. And I've had people say that for $2-3 they picked up Mad World because why the heck not? Drake said it was good.
I have to agree with you there. Mad World is a really good game.
It really is.
And you do more stuff like unpopular game opinions.
Yeah, those are the controversial ones.
And did you decide to just say, you know what, I feel like listing my opinions about certain games and want to hear people get pissed off, or was it just something that you honestly wanted to get out there and see what everyone else thought?
Well, Unpopular Gaming Opinions actually has a really fun origin. Uh, my friend on Twitter, Nintendo Legend, or I believe that's his handle, but he started the hashtag Unpopular Gaming Opinions, and I got hooked on tweeting some of mine because it was fun, and my followers, were either like, oh my god, that's a terrible opinion, or yeah, I agree with you, and I realized I could just make this into a series because controversial stuff gets views, and I like sharing my opinions because people say I have bad taste in games sometimes because I don't view things exactly the way they do. And I like showing off that there are things to like about things that not everybody has to like. Now, I have a lot of people saying that my opinions are honestly pretty common, but if you look on the internet, more people hate Fee and Navi than don't. Therefore, my opinion is unpopular, even if a lot of people agree with me. And I like seeing what the audience has to say as well. I like getting their feedback in the comments. I like seeing them going, "Oh my God, Drake, you're insane," or also, "Hey, I agree with this. I'm glad somebody admits it." And that kind of bonding and getting the viewers engaged and building more of a friendship with my audience is what I strive for.
Earlier, before we actually started this interview, I mentioned that I also like Sonic Heroes, and not in a ironic way, but I legitimately think it's a pretty good game.
I grew up on Sonic Heroes, so I am a little biased towards that, but love it to death. Not so much a fan of the ending, Metal Sonic going crazy overboard, but the initial gameplay was fun.
Right. Actually, I never beaten that game. Come to think of it.
You're not missing much.
Now, you say you grew up with that game. How old are you? Or how old are you now?
It's funny, most people would not believe me, but I'm actually 20 years old. I turned 20 in December. Now, people don't believe me because I have this wonderful goatee that I grew because I got made fun of at ScrewAttack constantly, and I wanted to look older than I really am. So that's why people don't always believe me. Now, I grew up in the GameCube era. My family didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I never had a 64 growing up, which is another reason why I started playing catch up because there's a lot of games that I missed out on because I just either didn't have the console or we just wasn't available because I was a hardcore Nintendo fanboy for most of my life,
Hmm.
and modern gaming is still pretty new. I got a 360 about 2 years ago, and my all my consoles were either my PS2 or all of my Nintendo consoles. So there's a lot of new games I haven't played, which is why I'm playing catch up, obviously. But I grew up mainly playing the GameCube, so that is what I'm nostalgic for. So I'm a big fan of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic Heroes, Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Sunshine, Animal Crossing, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Tales Symphonia, Chibi Robo. I could go on because I am just obsessed with the GameCube.
God, I just feel so old talking to you right now.
I'm sorry.
Well, I should be used to this considering I don't have many friends in my age within my age range, but you know, it's
Hey, you
still
made me sad.
it still hurts a little because I'm 26 and it's just like God, you goddamn youngins.
I'm sorry. Look, I've been the youngest guy working every job I've ever worked at, so I'm kind of used to the age bias.
Last time we talked, you mentioned your your crazy video game collection.
It's only gotten bigger since then.
I don't believe I asked you this last time, but which game do you think is like your prized possession of your collection?
Well, oddly enough, the rarest game I have, I didn't realize was that rare. Um, I don't have a lot of, super rare games. I just have a lot of good games.
Mhm.
The rarest game I probably have in my collection would be my collector's edition of the Metroid Prime trilogy for the Wii. So it has the first three Metroid Primes, or the three Metroid Primes, and it has a steel case, it has outer sleeve, artwork, and everything. I bought that on a whim because when I was at Walmart, and you know this a long time ago because I hate Walmart now. I had a gift card, oddly enough, for my birthday, and I was just walking through the game section. Cool. I'm gonna spend this $50 on something. Hey, Metroid Prime. Haven't played those. I'll just buy that. Haven't touched it since. I think I played it once. Trying Metroid Prime One on my Wii, and I'm sitting around talking to my uncle, and I mentioned that I have it. And he's like, that's like $150 game now, right? No. I mean, I played it once, and so my case and my disc are in mint condition, so it's definitely up there. But I don't care about it. But I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep it because of collector's value. But it's not my crown jewel, I'd say. I think it's the rarest thing. I mean, I work at a game store right now. I've worked game stores off and on as I've been being an adult. The rarest game I've seen come through the store was actually last week. We had a sealed copy of Wacky Races for NES. That was ridiculous. But the crown jewel of my collection, I'd have to say, is a Japanese copy of Animal Forest for the Nintendo 64. It's the original version of Animal Crossing that never made it to America, but the enhanced port is what we know as Animal Crossing. And it's a common game. I can't even play it on my 64, but I like Animal Crossing way too much, and I'd say that is probably my favorite thing I own.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's really cool. And the guy recognized me from ScrewAttack, so he gave me a discount when I bought it. It was awesome. I got it for like $20. Though I will admit, I'm starting to get into collecting import games now, even though I know I'm not going to play them. That game that came in my store about a month ago was a boxed copy of Mario Story, which is Paper Mario in Japanese.
Hmm.
So it was boxed Japanese. Oh, I wanted it for $30, but I ended up passing on it.
When it comes to collecting games for your collection, do you just collect like good games and games you want to play, or do you just want to collect everything?
Well, I wouldn't say I'd want to collect everything because that would be way too expensive. I do try to collect games that I want to play. Now, I have over 600 games, and I'm never going to get to play them all. I haven't played most of the games I own because I'll buy them, and I'm playing other things. And other new games will come out. Like I just beat The Last of Us, and that just came out, so I have to neglect all the other games that I have. And plus, I have about 150 games on Steam as well, so I'm not going to play all those too. But I try to buy the games that I want to play, games that I've heard are good, or cult classics and stuff. But I also will not trade in games. So I have some crappy ones. I have some notably bad games, like I have ET on the Atari, obviously. I also have the Atari Pac-Man because both of those are just legendarily awful. Same reason why I have Castlevania 2, even though it's actually a good game. But I'm generally a big fan of platformers and adventure games, so that's mainly what I collect, just stuff I'd actually want to play. Because the way I see it is that at least when I'm playing a game, I don't want to waste my time on something I don't like. Now, I'm a little more different playing catch up because I want to have more than just overly positive reviews, but also why would I want to waste my time bashing a game when I can be promoting a game that people haven't heard of or need to play? So that's why I try to play to completion only the games that I actually like. And that's mainly what I try to collect as well. Like, I'm not going to waste a bunch of money on a game I'm never going to play. Like, I wouldn't pay $150 for Metroid Prime Trilogy
Hmm.
because I'm not going to play it. But when I had that gift card, I wouldn't even pay $50 for it, but I had the gift card, so I bought it. and games that I heard were good. Like I just bought a copy of Medieval on PS1 2 days ago. I've heard that's great. I had some money, figured I'd pick it up and play it. It's gonna sit on my shelf for a while, but I know that when I get an itching to play it, it'll be there.
And what games have you been playing lately?
Well, like I mentioned, I just beat The Last of Us, and that was what I've mainly been investing my time in. But now that that's over with, I'm trying to really consolidate everything else. Right now, I'm playing through Half-Life 2 for the first time, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that. But also, I am addicted to Fire Emblem Awakening. I've been playing this game nonstop for about 5 months. Oh, well, okay, not nonstop. It was off and on a lot. But I was just stuck on one encounter for about 2 months that I played off and on because I have permadeath on, and if one person dies, I have to reset my entire session. So that's why Fire Emblem has taken forever. But I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing Half-Life 2. Haven't really decided what I'm gonna play next. Like I booted up No More Heroes 2. I actually hadn't played that game. I love No More Heroes 1. No More Heroes 2 has been sitting on my shelf. I booted that up and played a couple hours the other day. I might start Ni no Kuni soon, but mainly just Half-Life 2 and Fire Emblem.
Now, what are some popular games, or just games in general, that everybody seems to like, but you're not a particular fan of?
I don't like Final Fantasy 7. Everybody tells me that it gets better after the first disc, but oh my god, I don't think wasting like 10 hours on one disc is really worth how amazing the rest of the game is going to be because it's so fucking long. And I just want to get to the good part of the story already. Um, I don't like Halo because, like I mentioned, I grew up being a Nintendo fanboy. And I don't like first person games a lot in general because I don't like how they control on controllers. Now, I love first person games on computers. So I play a lot of Team Fortress 2, Counter Strike, Half Life, obviously. So if I got Halo for my PC, I probably would enjoy it. But everything I played at Halo, I just was not a fan of.
What games are you looking forward to?
Well, like I mentioned, I don't really play a lot of new games, mainly because they're just really expensive at first. So I'm not really that excited for a lot. Obviously, Smash Bros. Both on the 3DS and the Wii U, I'm gonna buy both of them, even if it is no difference. Looking really forward to Hyrule Warriors because oh my god, the game looks amazing. Plus, there's gonna be some Dynasty Warriors crossovers in there. Like we all know it's gonna happen. I just wish they would shut up and admit it. Um, Honestly, a lot of the games I was looking forward to have already come out. Like I was looking forward to Assassin's Creed 4 a whole lot, but it's out, and I'm just waiting for it to come down in price. I'm interested in Watch Dogs, but you never know if it's actually gonna happen or not.
Right.
Honestly, I just don't really know what's coming out now because I don't care about current gen consoles. What used to be called next gen,
Hmm.
the PS4 and the Xbox One. My girlfriend has an X or has a PS4, and I haven't even wanted to play it because there's just nothing for it. So the Wii U is the system I play the most, and I'm looking forward to the Wii U games. I just don't care about all this new stuff that's coming out right now. I'm really looking forward to Mighty Number Nine when that eventually gets released because I love Mega Man a whole lot, and I am just so pumped for Mighty Number Nine to finally happen.
Have you been, have all the games that you've been playing just games for playing catch up, or have you also been playing some stuff on Steam?
Well, every game I play is for playing catch up because every game I played is more than 2 months old. Therefore, I'm catching up on it.
Right.
So, my girlfriend makes fun of me a lot for it because I'll play a game and I'll have my laptop open at the same time and I'll be writing notes. Anytime I think of something that's either funny or something I want to talk about, I instantly have my catch up file open. I'll be writing stuff down. So I have way too much to talk about for The Last of Us that video is easily gonna be 10 minutes. And Steam is a little bit harder to do because I'll have to keep minimizing my tab to type stuff. But I mean, I did that for Hotline Miami. I would play for a level, minimize it, write down some stuff, keep playing. I don't play for fun anymore in the strict sense. Anything I do with the game, I can turn into content. So I'm always trying to keep my mind open and figuring out a good way to make a video to help um, share my love for games and help share my experiences with games that are uniquely mine and trying to find a way to give those to the public.
Now, stepping aside from video games, at least for a little bit, during your time with ScrewAttack, there you had gained a reputation for having an iron stomach, and
Oh no. I know I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but go on.
well, a few things that happened after our interview. Half gallon challenge that you did twice,
Mm-hmm.
and the CC's pizza eating contest.
Yeah, you're right. Let me be upfront and say that I'm not the iron stomach anymore. Um, I I'm a fitness nut now, so I've been working out for the past year and a half, and I don't eat the garbage I used to eat anymore. So that alone makes me less of the iron stomach, and also I eat a lot slower now. I actually let my food settle before I keep eating, so I eat less in that regard because I don't just shovel food down until I think I'm full. Um, Half gallon challenge was one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. Oh man, like the first one with 12 and a half minutes of eating that half gallon of ice cream, it was brutal, but I won, so awesome. When I did it the second time, my tongue and the roof of my mouth were about frostbitten for a week. My tongue tingled for a couple days, and just for that entire week, it hurt, and bits of skin were either flaking off the top of the roof of my mouth and on my tongue. So that was brutal.
Jesus.
And the CC challenge, I never even wanted to do. I didn't want to do it. Craig asked me like, "Hey Drake, you're the Iron Stomach. You can kick ass at this. Do it." So I did. I didn't want to. I haven't eaten CC since because it's disgusting now. I used to love CC's. Now no, not after eating about 3 pizzas in 30 minutes. That was ridiculous. Now also, I cemented my Iron Stomach status when I beat the Cinnamon Challenge, and I wouldn't do it again, but I could because that was way too easy. It was just brutal for like 10 seconds. But if I wanted to, I could probably eat some people under the table still.
That's just insane. Cause I thought I used to eat a lot, but I uh half gallon of ice cream in 12 minutes. Yeah, no.
7.5 for the second attempt.
My God, you're a crazy
But
man. You're a crazy
I
man.
I am a crazy man. But granted, I don't want you to think that I still don't eat massive quantities of food. That's still very true. I easily eat uh a lot.
What made you decide to part ways with ScrewTech?
Well, I worked for ScrewAttack for 2 years. I interned right out of high school, and it was a fun experience. I got to work my dream job right out of it, and I went to film school during that time because I wanted to be a professional video editor. And obviously, there's no bad blood with ScrewAttack whatsoever. I love them to death. I mean, heck, I'm going to be an official guest at SGC this year, so I don't think they hate me. Um, but I was in an interesting place in my life. I was moving cities. ScrewAttack obviously being in Dallas, I was moving to Fort Worth, so that was just an hour drive that I couldn't keep doing. Um, I decided that I didn't want to make videos as my career anymore because it isn't the easiest job. People think it's really easy, but you don't get paid a whole lot, especially on YouTube because ad revenue is next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured that to make a better living for myself and to help provide for my future family, that I'd have a boring job and a fun hobby. So even though I love working at ScrewAttack and I loved everything about that job, the fans being able to talk about video games all day and get paid for it, and being able to play video games every once in a while, review them, share my opinions, it just wasn't for me anymore. So I left, and I'm still in a bit of a crossroads right now, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Like I sell, or I don't sell. I give away security systems right now as my main job, and I work at a game store on the side, and I make YouTube videos. I mean, I barely get anything from YouTube videos. I do it for fun. But nothing wrong with ScrewAttack. If if I could, I'd love to work there if it was just right for me.
Man, where's this game store that you work at, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the current game store workout is called Game Over Video Games. It's a big chain, or it's not a big chain. We only have 9 stores. It started in Austin, Texas, and we have stores in San Antonio and Houston, and now we have one in Arlington, Texas, which is where I work. Um, I love this store a lot. Anytime I went to Austin, San Antonio, Houston, I always made a definite uh, stop at a Game Over because great prices, amazing selections. We have a video game museum in every single one of our stores, like showing anything from the Atari up to the PS4. We have them in display cabinets, showing off all the systems. The original Pong, having it all back there. An amazing community because as a collector, I understand the importance behind games, and my job mainly at Game Over is I stand around and I clean games for 5 6 hours a day. And I love cleaning games because I like to make sure that I take care of them, getting rid of all the crappy GameStop stickers and getting it all polished up, getting all the Sharpies off of the cartridges when kids wrote on them as a kid. Hence why they're kids. um, but yeah, I love shopping at Game Over, love working there. I mean, doesn't pay the best, but it's a job I look forward to going into every single day. I've never had a dull moment working at Game Over. I love it.
Well, shit. Now I wish I was up in Arlington last year for a couple weeks to go to SGC, and shit, I really wish I knew about that story. I would love
We
to visit
just
it.
opened up about a couple months ago, so
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah, you didn't miss it.
Well,
But Game Over was actually at SGC, and I do some conventions as a dealer now.
I'm gonna have to check that out when I go up there again.
No, you definitely should. It's a great store. I probably won't be there because I'll be at SGC too. I'll be having way too much fun to want to leave, like last year. Yeah, that was good old SGC.
We'll talk about SGC memories here in a bit, but
Oh, definitely.
let's do some. It's something I've done a few times with a couple of guests. Word association.
Okay, this will be fun.
I say something usually video game related or whatever, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to your head.
Sure.
Some start off easy. Mario,
Sonic.
Sonic,
Mario?
Nintendo.
What do I think of? Memories. You're putting me on the spot here, man.
Well, that's the point, man.
I don't know what to say. Nintendo is love.
Video games,
Everything.
the internet.
Porn. The internet is really, really great for porn. I love Avenue Q.
Really, I couldn't tell.
Oh, I love my favorite musical. That's the most homosexual thing I've said all day. All right.
Anime.
Oh, Hat and Clogs. Used to cosplay him back in the day. Back when Bleach was good. Yeah, there was once a point where Bleach was good.
Yeah, I remember when Bleach was good.
Yeah, it used to be great.
And then it just. Yeah. Speaking of anime, are you still. Do you still watch any?
Okay, I used to be a hardcore weeaboo back in the day. Thank God I'm not anymore. But I dated a chick who was crazy into anime, and that turned me off of it. I still very much like anime. Um, I'm just not as big of a fan. And also, I hate to say it, I cannot stand weebs anymore. I mean, as a former one, I mean, I founded my high school's anime club for crying out loud. Uh, I used to be really hardcore. I used to go to about 10 cons a year. I used to cosplay constantly. I think I just got burnt out. But I mean, I definitely need to watch some more shows. I heard Space Dandy's really good. I heard Kill la Kill's great because I love Gurren Lagann and Cowboy Bebop respectively. And so I know those are shows I'd like. I haven't had the need to sit down and watch a show in a while.
So you haven't watched anything lately?
No, not really. I think the last show I watched, it wasn't not the newest thing I've watched. Oh yeah, actually, yeah. When I was dating that girl, I watched Sword Art Online. That was decent. That was okay. And then before that, I watched Bamboo Blade because I'm a sucker for sappy girly things like Canon and Clannad.
Now that might be the gayest thing you've said so far.
Hey. Clannad is my favorite show. Don't judge me, man. Don't judge me. I love that show.
I'm still judging you for liking fighting foodons, dude. I remember that.
I know. I remember you getting I remember that. Hey, fighting foods with attitude, man. Clannad's good with the Great Dango, and then Canon and all the Ugus.
Jesus.
Those are my favorite shows. I love them so much.
SGC came back last year in 2013.
Best convention I barely remember. I was wasted the entire convention. It was amazing.
Well, last year was my first SGC, and I had been to a few cons before, but that was easily the best convention I've been
SGC
to.
is great. I
SGC
mentioned
is great.
I mentioned I used to go to about 10 cons a year. I go to none, save for SGC, because SGC was amazing. It was my first SGC too. Loved it to death. I mean, granted, I autographed a boob, so I'm gonna like it.
Well, then that's just a little bit biased, then.
Yeah. I've never been a celebrity before, and going to SGC and I was one, it was ridiculous. I'm still kind of blown away by actually having fans, because I I don't consider myself a celebrity, and I think when it comes to YouTube, I'm like Z list, like very bottom. But man, SGC that made me feel like such a badass. It was a good con.
It was a good con.
I got to go on a date with Lisa Foyles. I mean, come
Oh
on.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, granted, I never would have gotten that date had I not been drunk, because oh my god. Okay, she was hanging out with Matt Pat and Andre the Black Nerd. I think at the time they were all talking to fans separately, but they were all together.
mhm.
And I just like walked up drunk off my ass. Thankfully, I don't always show it, but I just walked on up like, "Hey, Lisa, we were supposed to have a Skype date. Let's have one here.
Oh, Jesus.
Matt Pat can come and film it. He can be my sexy conscience." That's essentially how it went down. And yeah, it was a fun video.
I remember uh walking back from a McDonald's. I saw just Adam Sessler just chilling outside smoking a cigarette. And
MBD.
was that?
MBD. Adam Sessler just sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's not the voice of game criticism. Chilling.
Like I saw him and I've like a majority of my life was just watching X Play and I love Adam Sessler and I was just walking with my friend and I saw him. I was like, dude, that's fucking Adam Sessler. Because like I've been to cons before and it's not very common for like the guests to just be chilling around unless it's like a smaller con.
That's SGC. I mean, oh my god, I was my favorite thing to do at a convention in general is to get my 3DS and just run down a line yelling "Street Pass, Street Pass," and people are gonna go crazy and they'll go like, "Hey, my Street Pass is in my pocket," so I go up, I take my 3DS and I rub it against their pocket. You know, no boundaries. Well, this guy brought out his 3DS and he actually had it and I was rubbing it against his actually like in arm's distance. I wasn't rubbing against his pants. And then Andre the Black Nerd's like, "Hey man, are we having a Street Pass orgy over here?" Just go, "Andre, I've been looking for you." And I just got a picture with Andre the Black Nerd right there because we had a Street Pass orgy. Just the talent just walking amongst the little people. I mean, granted, Brindle Floss tried to avoid quite a few people with his hat and sunglasses disguised, and I totally saw him, and I was like, I know. I've already met Brent numerous times. Like, I already got drunk and geeked out on him before. That was a fun con.
Like, and it's funny because like I saw Matt Pat like, oh, like I think Matt Pat was like the person I saw the most at SGC.
Matt Pat was always on the floor just talking to fans, and I respect that man so much.
He
Because
he's a class act. He's a really swell guy.
really, really great guy. I mean, like, he was there Thursday night before SGC even happened. I was there too, and I actually gave a little panel on Thursday the fans threw for me. But when I heard Matt Pat was there, I instantly ran and gave him a big hug because I was like, I never met the guy, but obviously, like I mentioned, I talked to him back when I was an intern, back before he was Mr. Game Theory,
Hmm.
and it was really cool to finally meet him in person. That guy has a huge dedication to his fans, and I respect him so much.
And it was also pretty cool to meet Nathan Barnett.
Haven't actually met him. I'm sure he was wandering around somewhere. Like I also haven't met James AVGN. I haven't met him before.
Yeah, I didn't go to his panel either.
Yeah, I mean, like I heard he's a really good guy, from stories that Chad and Craig have told.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've always wanted to meet him. Haven't done it yet. But I mean, I got to meet Movie Bob. He actually sat down and played Cards Against Humanity with us.
Nice.
Uh, I met Brutal Moose, Gerard the Completionist, Pokekells from the decks, which I didn't even know about the decks when I met her. She just wanted my shirt, and I found out she was a talented person after that. Who else did I meet? I met Andre, like I mentioned a couple times. I met people. Oh,
Just-
I met Lisa Foyles, obviously.
well, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
you got pretty acquainted with her, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I did. Good times.
Now, fast forward to SGC 2014.
Oh yeah, that'll be
Your
fun.
guest this year.
Yes, I am.
How did that feel when you were asked along with the other game theorists to be a guest?
Well, okay, I wasn't asked to be a guest. I just it's kind of expected to be one. Um, because I was talking to Sean at ScrewAttack, because he runs SGC for the most part, and I was like, hey, do I need to pay for a badge, or do I get one for being former ScrewAttack, or do I get one for being on Game Theory because I'm assuming they're guests again, and he's like, yeah, Matt Pat will handle all that. Like, okay, cool. And then when I heard we're guests, like, oh, cool. I mean, I was gonna be there anyway. Woo. It sucks because I was going to be a game theorist at SGC 13, and I was going to be on the game theorist panel, and that's when we were going to announce crossover.
Hmm.
And that was a fun panel, and I kind of wish I was able to do that. But hey, SGC 2014, I'll be on the game theory panel. Yeah, cool.
Do you have anything special planned for SGC?
Well, meet as many fans as possible. Autograph two boobs this time. Get another couple games of Werewolf because I got about a crowd of 20 people when I played it. More Cards Against Humanity now that I have the bigger blacker box and all the expansions. That'll be fun. Uh, Network, meet more internet celebrities, and throw the biggest parties again. Oh yeah, those were fun. And remember more of SGC because I'm representing myself and game theory, and I can't be a party animal. Oh
Sometimes it helps not to drink.
yeah. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear. I barely drink just cons or when I cut loose, and they help me interact with people.
I just choose to be awkward and socially inept.
Yeah, I'm not good around people, and when I'm around that's many people, like I need a little bit of liquid courage. But I mean, God, yeah, I sound like such an alcoholic. I'm not even legally allowed to drink.
Just so you know, the Nathan Graves show does not condone underage drinking.
Indeed, we all know what happens anyway, unfortunately.
Now, are you ready to be put on the spot again?
Oh God, all right, what do you got for me?
Time for some quick lightning round questions.
The lightning round. All right, let's hear it,
All
Nathan.
right, first lightning round question: what is your favorite food?
Sushi. That was a weeaboo. Yeah, there you go.
What is your favorite drink, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Oh, brown sugar lemonade. Delicious.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Mario or Sonic?
Mario.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What is a quick fact that nobody knows about Drake?
I wear a necklace every day of my entire life and will continue to because when I was in the fourth grade, a girl complimented me and said my necklace was cute. And that was the first compliment I got from a girl in a romantic-ish sense, and that's why I stuck with it. Yeah, that's sad. It's very sad.
And final lightning round question: would you rather fight one horse-sized duck
As duck or a
and
hundred
duck-sized
duck-sized
horses?
horses.
Yes.
Yeah, I still don't know. I've been debating that question for years. I don't know. None.
Zero.
Nothing. I don't want to fight any ducks and horses.
Duck.
I've been pondering the question: is it better to just drop kick a bunch of little horses because they're not gonna bite back, but a giant fucking duck would be terrifying, but the 100 horses could overpower me? I don't know. I don't know.
You gotta be aware of those shin kicks. They'll hurt like a mother.
I know, and that's what I'm worried about.
Alright then. Actual lightning round question. Pirates or ninjas?
Oh, ninjas. Duh. Ninjutsu is still being practiced by the original people. Pirates are all Somalian, and they're lame. Okay, what else you got for me?
Actually, it's going to be the final question.
The final question. All right.
What do you have planned for the future for any upcoming projects that you would like to review at this time?
Well, I'd love to get started on my goddamn top 10 show. I have about 50 lists done. I have about 2 scripts done. I just have no time to do them. I want to bring back playing catch up in the best sense. I want to get a professional green screen, have a digital set, go higher quality on all my videos, get more unpopular opinions out, get more crossovers done. I mean, I already have like the next 3 crossovers figured out. I mean, the next one is Assassin's Creed: Mirror's Edge. Then we have the Pokemon or the Nintendo universe, how every Nintendo game is connected in one universe, and that's featuring MatPat. I want to do Brutal Legend to Love Plus. I want to do Mass Effect to Halo. I just want to make all the videos, all of them, and I want to get the people involved too. So I'm gonna try to find new ways to engage the audience and have everybody excited and participating as a community.
Alright. Drake, I'd like to thank you once again for being the first ever repeat guest on the show.
You're welcome. I was excited whenever you asked me to be back on. I was really pumped, and I'm glad to be here. And thank you for having me.
And for all of you watching at home, you can subscribe to Drake's videos at his personal channel, youtube.com/SuperSaiyan101. Also, check out the Zapper Productions page at youtube.com/ZapperVidProductions. Also, check out Crossover on the Game Theorist channel. And follow Drake on Twitter at TrailerDrake. And do you have any other social media places that you like to pimp out, or anybody else you like to pimp out?
I'd like to say thank you for having all your links down. I appreciate that. I didn't even ask you about those, but man, you are prepared. Twitter, obviously, at TrailerDrake, that's where most of my communication goes. Facebook.com/officialDrakeMcWhorter for my fan page. I use everything. Go to Reddit and be my friend at TrailerDrake. TrailerDrake on Anook, which is a small gaming social media platform. Add me on Steam, Xbox Live, PSN, Wii U Network. Subscribe to the r/video game crossover subreddit where I post pictures of things crossing over with other things and videos and music and stuff. I don't know. I'm on everything. You name it, I'm there. 'Cause I'm a cool guy. Except for Pinterest. Fuck Pinterest.
And as for me, subscribe to this channel on YouTube. If you like this episode, give it a like and give the other episodes a watch. Or a listen, rather.
Hey, what about me? Listen to my other episode.
Listen to the second ever NathanGraves show with Mr. Drake Wickwater. And also check out other videos I have where I've interviewed such people as Megami33, Sean Hines, and professional Dota 2 player Cinderin. And also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, leave a review there, and follow me on Twitter at NathanGraves989 so that you can find out who the next guest is going to be on the Nathan Graves Show. And that's going to do it for this episode. I'd like to thank Drake once again for being a guest and for being a pretty swell guy.
You're certainly welcome. I'll try to keep it up. Let me know in a couple of years if you want me on a third time.
Don't push your luck.
All right. Can't blame me guy for trying, can you?
No, not really. But anyway, this is NathanGraves989, signing off.